Joining us here for our Small Stage series presented by SiriusXM and Pandora. I'm Julia Cunningham, and we are joined by the pop punk queen, the toast of Canada, literally a true legend. We are so honored to be celebrating on release day, Avril Lavigne. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Actually had a record from you not that long ago, 2019, Head Above Water, which was a really emotional record. It was a raw record. It was obviously a moment in time record. But I am curious, after, an emotional time like that, then where were you when you were thinking about music and thinking, okay, I'm ready to do another record and really go pop punk again?
Yeah, I think especially after my last album, Head Above Water, it was full of ballads, like you said, just really emotional, super deep, kind of heavy. But
super
as
heavy,
an artist, this is my 7th album, the Love Sucks record, and I've been doing this for 20 years. And as a songwriter, each album kind of marks where I'm at in my life for me. Anyway, so after that album, yeah, definitely I was like, oh, okay, it's time to rock. And even though I had that album, my tour was still the energy was very rock and roll, and all of my shows, all of my tours, no matter what the vibe of my album was, have carried that attitude and vibe and type of energy. So when I made this album, Love Sucks, there was no holding back. I was I just want to have a ton of fun, and I got together with my friends in the pop punk scene, like John Feldman and Travis Barker and Modson and MGK, and I was I want to make a pop punk record and just go for it. And I feel it's kind of coming back to my roots for when I first started discovering music as a teenager in high school, and seeing the CDs that my brother had, Green Day,
yes,
and Goo Goo Dolls, Matchbox 20, but also Blink-182 is a band I discovered in high school.
And Mark Hoppus is on this record, which
yes.
is, obviously
really
you
cool.
have an amazing relationship with Travis, as you mentioned, and he's one of the producers on the record with Modson and John Feldman. And for people that don't know, John Feldman is just unreal.
Goldfinger.
Yes, Goldfinger, but has produced everybody.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
mean, My Chemical Romance, Hillary Duff, literally the gamut of it, because he's
The
just so
Used.
incredibly talented. Yes. But I am curious, with your relationship with Travis, you guys had worked together, you guys knew each other.
Yeah.
He runs the label, he's on the record. It must have been cool to see just how your relationship has changed over time.
Well, the last time I worked with him was on The Best Damn Thing, which was my 3rd album, and that was
and a moment ago, weirdly.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
Isn't that so weird? 15. And so, we got back together, worked together again on this album, and it was kind of no time had gone by. And it was, except, he's grown so much. He's has this really cool studio. He's the president of DTA Records, and he's just a really great producer and songwriter, and he works with so many artists now, and it's really cool. So working with him was really fun, and we've known each other for years, and I really respect him and admire him and what he's done in music. But working with him as someone who's been in the industry for so long, I feel we kind of get each other, and he really understands me as an artist and my vision. And
the record is amazing. It's Love Sucks. We're going to be hearing so much of it during this set. And of course, some of the classics, as you mentioned, you've been in the industry for 20 plus years, really, ultimately, but celebrating the anniversary of your debut album this summer. I am wanting to ask you about one particular track that I love off the record. It's called Deja Vu. And there's a line in it, and I think this just shows what an incredible songwriter you are. There's a line in it that says, and you'll be able to tell me what it is exactly, but it's something you're an asshole up in your castle, and you rhyme asshole and castle, which is,
best?
How is that even possible? And I'm so curious, do you have, in your iPhone, a notes page of writing? Do you have a journal? Where are some of these lyrics? Where are some of these phrasings coming from?
Definitely, I always have in my phone, when we're starting a song, I'm typing in notes for sure. I love having a pen and paper and notepads, and I feel I'm the only one recently in the studio who does that. Everyone,
yes.
Some people
analog.
Can just memorize it. I'm I have to write everything down and then I type it out. It's I like doing both of it. But yeah, asshole and castle.
It
Not bad.
works. I would have never thought
you're
it.
an asshole living in a castle. You think you're better than everyone.